United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is on his way to the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip. That's where a limited number of trucks are expected to deliver humanitarian aid into Gaza in the coming hours, following a plan announced by U.S. President Joe Biden. Gaza is currently experiencing severe shortages of fuel, food, and medicines. Israel launched airstrikes in Gaza and sealed the territory off from supplies after Hamas militants entered Israel almost 2 weeks ago and killed at least 1,400 people. The UN chief says more than 2 million are at risk of dehydration and waterborne diseases in Gaza.
Civilians in Gaza desperately need core services and supplies, and for that we need rapid, unimpeded humanitarian access. We need food, water, medicine, and fuel now. We need it at scale, and we need it to be sustained.
Let's bring in Karim El-Gawari here. He's a journalist in Egypt's capital, Cairo. Karim, what are Egyptian authorities saying about when aid deliveries to Gaza will resume?
Well, the talk is that it is set for today, that also in the presence of the UN General Secretary Guterres. Officially, it's not open yet because there is extensive repair work, especially on the Palestinian side, because this area, since the war broke out, was bombed 4 times in its vicinity, and the street to the border crossing has extensive damage. But I hear that until now, there's also, until this moment, a struggle in the background between the US, Israel, and Egypt about how much aid will be allowed in. Until now, it's supposed to be only 20 trucks that can go to specific locations once the border is open. But of course, on the Egyptian side, there are many, many more trucks lined up. Talk is about that there's waiting aid of 3,000 tons right now on the other side. Talk for sure will be also about the foreign nationals and possibilities for them to leave the Gaza Strip via this Rafah border crossing. Egypt, since days, tries to link the two things. They're saying like they can go out only if aid comes in, and that is all still probably under discussion until now. It's not sure if and when this crossing is really opening today.
You know, we're talking about humanitarian aid for people who are living under extremely difficult conditions and civilians who are facing serious health issues, among other things. They're hungry. Why has it been so difficult, Karim, to get that aid flowing back into Gaza?
Well, it has to be done in coordination between Egypt, Hamas, Israel, and the UN. It seems to be very, very difficult. From the Egyptian side, they are ready to bring the aid in. The big topic for the Egyptian side is about crossing the border, opening the border crossing, and for the Palestinians to leave from there. There's a big fear in Egypt about a Palestinian exodus from Gaza. Egyptian President Sisi just said that the current war was not just aimed at fighting Hamas, but also an attempt to push civilian inhabitants to migrate to Egypt. That's is the big fear. You have to understand there is a Palestinian and Arab trauma about a Nakba, the fear that Palestinians once again will be forcefully displaced. Until now, in their history, whenever they escaped to another country, they were never allowed back. And I think that is really the big issue. This is also the issue in Jordan. This is the issue in Egypt right now, why they are so reluctant that Palestinians can come from the Gaza Strip.
Karim, thank you very much for now. That was journalist Karim El-Gawari reporting from Egypt's capital, Cairo. Palestinian militants continued to fire rockets from Gaza into Israel on Thursday. This as Israeli forces struck targets in the Gaza Strip throughout the day, including in the south of the territory where Israel has told Gazans to head for their own safety. One explosion there reportedly killed and injured several people, including children.
A father carrying his child to the grave. His was one of 3 children among those receiving their final rites on this barren patch of land. Prayers are held to the sound of Israeli aircraft hovering above, a constant menace to the Palestinians below and a reminder of the airstrike on the town of Khan Yunis that killed the civilians being buried here. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have fled the northern part of the Gaza Strip after Israel told them to leave for the south. Running out of food and desperate for shelter, they have found no reprieve from Israel's relentless bombing campaign.
We came from Gaza City. They told us to come to the south, so we came to the south. We found that the strikes intensified in the south. We stayed in a house. In front of us there were strikes. Behind us, strikes. There's no safety. There's nowhere safe in Gaza. You have to be ready to die and to just stay in your house.
Israel vows to continue targeting Hamas all over Gaza.
When there is a threat originating or being conducted against Israel from the south, then we will strike, absolutely.
And it will soon move its powerful army into the Strip, Israel's defense minister told troops massing on its border.
I promise you that whoever sees Gaza now from afar will see it from the inside. Good luck.
An Israeli ground operation will likely focus on the north, at least in the initial stages. With Hamas expected to put up fierce resistance, the battered confines of southern Gaza may still prove a sanctuary of sorts.
Hazem Balusha is a journalist in Gaza. Earlier, I asked him about the humanitarian situation there.
The humanitarian situation is getting hard and harsh. No electricity, no power at all, no drinking water. No internet, limited access to food, no borders, no trucks coming in. People are lying on bakeries, in grocery shops and restaurants. People can afford some stuff, but still others are not. Some people are staying at UNRWA schools, and they are providing very limited amount of food, and according to the limited amount that they have, according to their officials. All the services and infrastructure are down in Gaza. Barely we are connected on the phone. It comes and goes. No internet. People are not communicating as regular. People don't know here, and the officials, like how long that Gaza can survive with the current situation.
There are efforts to resume aid deliveries to Gaza across the border with Egypt. Are Palestinians in Gaza expecting those aid deliveries to resume, to actually reach them?
Well, this is a question that how and when this aid will come. There are a lot of reports that it would come today, but seems like up to now nothing came into Gaza. They are talking about 20 trucks, which is very limited, and this would be through the UN agencies, particularly UNRWA, and maybe Red Crescent. We don't know yet about the mechanism. And I don't know how this will be distributed to ordinary people, the other people in the south, or only for those refugees are staying at the UNRWA schools.
Is there any place in Gaza where the people there can flee to and be safe?
Actually not. I'm displaced myself with my family for the third time in this war. Many people left their places in north and Gaza City to the south. But, overnight here, I'm in the central Gaza Strip, and I still hear bombardments and airstrikes. There were many reports about airstrikes in Rafah and Khan Yunis, which is in the south. Many buildings were destroyed. There are many people killed in different airstrikes. But we have to say that it's more intense in Gaza and north. Here is continued, but still there are many people killed by or due to the airstrikes.
Hazem, thank you very much for your reporting. That was journalist Hazem Balusha speaking to us from Gaza.